Let's take a quick tour of the Bamboo Lab P1S 3D printers. The printers themselves we have two of, and they're able to print a 10-inch by 10-inch by 10-inch large object. Each of these printers has a 4-filament feeding system on top, which when you open it up you can see allows you to put in up to 4 different colors or 4 of the same depending on the job type you're doing. It feeds in through these mechanisms, and if you wanted to remove some of this, you're just going to close in and pinch away from you, and that will free up the thing so you can slide it. When you're backfilling the filament, you're going to hold on to it because it will snap and if you don't. And you don't want that to happen because if the filament gets unwound in any way, it becomes very difficult to use or becomes something you just have to toss out. So you may be wondering, why do we have the silica gel in there? Well, filament needs to stay dry. If the filament gets moist, it gets brittle and snaps, and we don't want that, because then it could snap inside all of the tubing that we have to follow to get into the printer. And when that snaps, we have to take apart the AMS, which is not difficult to do. We'll do that in a different video, but it's just something we have to do. Now, as for the actual printer, we have a screen showing us some various information. Right now it's showing us environmental information. And as I scroll down, here's some more stuff on the interiors, where the nozzle is, what the temperatures are of different things. We've got some information on the system, and this is all the stuff inside of the memory card, which can be found right here. This, if you want to remove this, is a simple clicky click. You press with the finger that has nails, and you can pull out the little memory card. Now, you no longer have to do that with the way that we're loading files into the system, but you can see right now, no printable files, and it just loaded it. So let's open up the door and take a quick anatomy look inside this machine. So, a little too close, but here we go. So this right here is the plate. This plate is magnetized, and this you can take out. When we take this plate out, it will be very hot because this plate, including the tray, warms up to about 55 degrees Celsius, and the heat is what keeps the filament sticking on this. But much like an ice cube tray that you've pulled out from the freezer, if you give it a quick twist and snap, all of the ice cubes come loose. That is the same thing with this. Now notice this is magnetized, so I want to put that back nicely the way it goes. Zooming in a little further, this is the nozzle area. And if you look really closely, you can see that there's still some filament on the nozzle, so that's dirty, and that's something I'm going to have to clean off. So my finger is not going to get it well enough right here. I'm going to have to bring the nozzle forward using the maintenance program to kind of clean it. And now you might be wondering, what is this thing right here? This, no joke, is called the poop bucket. So when the printer is printing, it only has one nozzle. And if you think about a soft serve ice cream machine that has 3 nozzles, one being vanilla, one being the mix of vanilla and chocolate, and the other being chocolate, there is no waste. But if we're going to print multiple colors, it needs to, in this case, bleed out the old color and then load in the new color. And so where does that happen? Well, this waste is produced, and I'll give you a quick show of what that looks like. This is that thing. It goes through the little hole, falls through there, and then goes out back. So for maintenance, we want to make sure this nozzle is nice and clean so that it doesn't have any other filament stick to it. So as I zoom back, one of the things the printer does when it prepares to print is it will heat up, and then it'll start bleeding out some filament. It'll heat up this tray, and that is again to keep this sticky and to get that nice and liquidy so that it can start the process of building from the bottom up. This tray will auto level based on the Z-axis using these screwing systems. You don't have to do anything with those, but it's just something to be aware of. So there's a quick tour of the P1S's. We'll take a look at the software and how we load prints to it in a little bit. There you go.